Hey guys, so today we're going to be looking at the creepiest thing a kid has said, so yeah, let's just get right into the video. When my daughter was about 3, she told me she missed her old life when she lived in the trees. I asked her what she meant and she said, "Before you were my mummy, I was an owl and lived in the trees. I love you, but I miss my owl mummy." Huh? Huh? I've never heard about a kid talking about the past life as an animal. It's always been like, I was this person before I was yours, mummy. But never like an animal. What the? I miss my past life when I was a corgi. I was treated so well by everyone. Good night, mama. Don't die. What? I'll be sleeping with one eyes closed because what the heck? Did I give birth to a devil child? I was babysitting and the little girl whispered, "Don't go in the bathroom, she doesn't like you." There was nobody else home. Oh hell no. No thank you. My little cousin grabbed my hand at a family dinner, pointed to an empty corner and said, "That's where the burning lady stands at night." Found out later that there had been a kitchen fire in that exact spot decades ago where someone was badly hurt. Yup. No way. That's so scary. Not necessarily creepy, but it left me feeling strange. My daughter was maybe 3 years old, going on 4 at the time, and we were having a moment alone in my bed, just relaxing together as I combed my fingers through her hair. She looked at me and said, "I'm glad I picked you from the mum box." I said, "What do you mean mum box?" And she said, "I picked you out of a long row of mum boxes. I almost picked another mum. She had yellow hair, but I picked you because you looked so nice. And then I was born and you were my mum." She said it very matter-of-factly and it gave me goosebumps in the moment. I could definitely be chalked up to a child's imagination, but I've never forgotten it or the feeling it gave me. She's 10 now and has no recollection of it. That's nice. I mean, like, it's not creepy, not that creepy. It's just like, oh, that's kind of wholesome, right? To hear your kids say that they're glad they picked you to be the mom. Oh my god, my heart. I would cry. The neighbor's kid who loved to torture animals. He was singing "Turtle, turtle, whack, 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 hit its shell until it crack," to the tune of "Twinkle, twinkle, little star." Turtle, turtle, whack, 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 hit its shell until it crack. Excuse me? While trying to smash a live baby turtle he found in his yard. Our family and the other neighbors had complained to his parents and they just laughed it off as kids being kids, as if stomping baby birds, kicking cats, and cutting the limbs off a frog was in any way normal and appropriate child behavior. Yo, yeah, that kid needs to go to therapy right now. Because isn't this the behavior of a psychopath? Literally just no care for animals at all. Well, a serial killer in the making. When my son was a toddler, he talked about the melting man and the 2 skeletons standing in his room. He thought the melting man was funny, and he always walked around where each of the 3 stood. He did this for months until one night at 2 a.m. he woke screaming while staring at the ceiling. His head and eyes darted around as he watched the melting man move up there. We went to the living room and he was fine for a moment, until the melting man came on the ceiling from out of the hallway. I couldn't calm him, so we went to a 24-hour Walmart for 3 hours. He was absolutely fine while out of the house, but it started right back up when we got back home. That became the first time that we fully cleansed the house. You can knock as much as you like. It stopped. He never spoke about the melting man or the skeletons again, and that was 6 years now. We never brought it up again either. We never knew if we would cause issues again if we were to bring it up. The past few weeks he's been complaining about nightmares of a cow with its face melting off. He refuses to tell me anything more about it though. Here's to hoping it isn't a repeat of back then. That's so scary. But I said he was fine with it at the beginning, that he knew there was melting man and that he was funny. But like what? All of a sudden the melting man just became evil? That is scary. Not creepy, but one time a little girl at the mall started pointing at me and screaming. Excuse me. Imagine. I'd be so hurt, man. What? What are you screaming at? Am I just ugly? In the grocery store, a kid pointed at me and whispered to his mom, "That one's gonna die soon." What? Kids know something that we don't know. When I was younger, 5 to 7-ish, I knew that my great-grandma had died before anyone else did, and I drew a picture of her with X's for eyes, and I told my mom and dad that she had passed, and no one believed me until they dropped me off at school and got the call. It still freaks my family out so bad. How did they know? That's so scary. I feel like kids, and they have a connection with like something that you can't see in the world. Maybe the grandma visited the kid and then that's why the kid saw the vision kind of thing. Whew. There's a girl with black eyes in your closet. my 7-year-old niece who was happily strumming my guitar with a colored pencil. Why would you say that? Seriously, why? Well, it is not something they said because the baby was too small to speak. But one of my relatives knew a person who owed them a lot, and that person died and somehow, don't ask, shady. His huge house got to be in the possession of my relative. I went over once for tea and I was shocked. The house was huge. It had like 3 to 4 bedrooms. There was a huge gallery with the rooms and downstairs an enormous living room and a terrace and a swimming pool. So yeah, actually beautiful. They had a baby not long ago, and while we were talking and hanging out in the living room, the baby started looking at the top corner of the living room and giggling. I was like, hey, cute, she can do that already. And the mum freaked out right away. She like jumped to the baby and turned her around to face the other direction. And now was my shock. The baby turned around as much as she could with her head and continued to giggle and smile in the same direction. For your information, that corner was empty. It was the only corner where there was no gallery, just plain white wall. So I asked what this was about because now the baby was acting really weird, and they explained how they got the house and that the old owner hanged himself there. Yeah, it didn't take more than a year for them to decide to move out. Oh my freaking gosh. The baby was looking at the direction where the person hung themselves. Yo, that is scary. And the baby was giggling. Oh no. I'm surprised it took them 1 year to move out. I would have moved out the next week. I mean, I wouldn't even have moved in if I knew. Some people. My sister used to talk to the old lady in the rocking chair in her bedroom. She still remembers her. I babysat a lot and would hear the chair moving and rocking when she was fast asleep or snoring. My daughter used to talk about before, when I was a mummy, I had 3 little girls. Nothing really creepy, but little details aligned with my grandmother's life. She died 18 months before my daughter was born. What, the grandmother's reincarnation? Oh my goodness. That would actually be pretty wholesome, not gonna lie. I wouldn't wanna spoil if she was my kid. Is that so weird to say? Growing up at their age, they probably didn't get everything that they wanted as a kid. So wouldn't it be nice to be able to like make that happen for them? For them to just have everything they want now. But back then they couldn't afford to even buy the things that they liked because they were just surviving. But like now a lot of people in our generation, they're able to buy things that they just want because they're making money to be able to just spend, right? But back then everyone started a family so early. Yeah, they were literally just surviving and making sure the kids got everything that they wanted. A kid looked me dead in the eyes and asked, do you ever dream you're not in your own body anymore? Then just went back to colouring. Excuse me, what do you mean? She pointed to an empty corner and said, that's where the sad man stands when you're asleep. What sad man? Why is the sad man there? I need more answers. When I was 2, I told my mum, I'm glad we're moving. I don't like the old lady who sits on my bed. Yo, that's true. Kids don't lie. Alright, they're definitely seeing something. Well, that's it for the video. Hope you guys enjoyed. Tell me in the comments down below what your thoughts are. And as always, thanks for watching. Hope you guys liked it. And I'll see you guys next time. Bye!